Happy Constitution Day. Today we celebrate Ghana's democracy and unity. Yet more updates and so ara etimi ede eba na bibia so no etimi akoso kama ensema ede ba no enso etimi doso ensem bi koso heartful camper a hard drink akra de bedin komo enso etimi dia fa hom na bibia so no etimi akoso bedin komo pi e heartful camp opanyina e fo no se eye James Akwasi Appiah, former Black Stars of Ghana coach, Black Stars of Ghana legend, also etimi akasa currently we coach Edema Sudan national team ono so akasa den sama European so etimi atudwa e de honsem nyina semo na so hu de no so etimi eko da bibia so na etimi come na first time ahwe dwuma subscribe share for comment no enso etimi to ase na bibia so no etimi nkoso share nso saha Charles Ado TV yemfa ensama European enso etimi ensase informa yeti fu pataw nyeri kan no yanko boxing mo kakra ukọ boxing mo an your freezing Mark Bones na nsia na chese ono eme na try ma Ghana na ebra oba Ghana no boxing no Ghana ya boxing mu no empanifo ni bi ho no according to boy the last time being in interview bi am share o say bi a tournament bi course no person ko represent Ghana kwa na empanifo ni man here de enko entini etene say wa switch from Ghana as akopiem or UK ti say wono wanya Ghana ni biem ti wa switch obete wo kakanka Ghana so ono so wetimi aswitch from near furnace Ghana akopiem yembra football medin komo Jean Sapsie Infinite Nations FC Oko Nations FC a near tennis or show interest or Legon City's left back I furnace Joseph Ansa or show interest ewonimu afeye medin komo ewo team furnace Accra to folk Oko to folk enra enumere training section and so it take place I just say enra enumere training section so timi koso na just say easy players no omo ye training kama na just say we pia enra interesting I just say enua I phone is Michael Ampadu and so say any team ye training kama bi pia so no timi koso san say bi pia ni omo ntambiem enti training session so timi koso kama na enye easy kra na me pacho Seth Osei so deal no ibewuram onim say Seth Osei no wati bibia ase bibia so atima koso empanifo no so ahye se bibia betima kama na face Seth Osei medicals e de amatima ye friend Sakra to fungi Seth Osei deal ni de to wadwum na so timi da say dan Seth Osei deal no enso betimi akoso kama ama Seth Osei enso etimi assign e de amatima ye friend say e Accra to folk enti akase medicals no bibia so betima akoso empanifo e bibia wie ya dia se no so etimi ko enso etimi elho na Samuel Asikwedi no enso e du ga chese no so etimi akoso acha he say no near tene se bibia enso so etimi go through ente Samuel Asikwedi enso so no we de ebetimi any heart to folk enso so etimi ahwe bom acha se wono beba as free agent eno Samuel Asikwedi na acha se no so so etimi ekoso a ye de ehonsem so etimi ede eba na uko out of focus once the players bi hon some the kind of brebrel chese bumbe cologne ene sa nyama no na players na chese ye hwani mu se onbe cologne Amankwa Baafi ka ho ana afa me ka che se Amankwa Baafi ko Vision FC ana afa so no Roma Gideon Asante ebo asoso beko na eno ana chese se na abe topic a won fopi na e discuss ni nyana say players if I from Amankwa Baafi any boyfriend is a Gideon Asante Yeboa artist on Beko Vision FC no omunya call from Vision FC na just say Vision for ne catch up so we team my friend is to folk abe catch and I say no wedding komo enso we are ente mo ba be loan ewe ho na players no they are not aware ne koso no munim ho hwe enti no omunya o madwen so be loan ama eye club e friend is Vision FC any idea just and so koso. Now before that no mpono na Gideon Asante Yeboah when you playing time with my friends out of folk while you had to folk fan and as we had to folk match no uni mini America na no buy no on same baby koba say waka say boy no heart problem be amachi so ko test na nyina so no ente sa ki say Gideon Asante Yeboah asani team my friend say had to folk eco player and coach status committee I just some do makopiem status committee na nim say omuson kan masem because kwanya had to folk do on air faso no and so enkoyi but me ba ya me gina no enso say had to folk club players no adwuma ema club no ti say wo di player na be colon bia I was only players in this year Abia player A, player B, Gideon Asante Yeboah, and player for Amankwa Baafi. Yene motna, but now you perceive be anemo cologne our club way. Intino negotiation koso. Tisach na be se club no frame one. Say ni. Ati ase. Ready a money player na antena se. Man cash and players no. Wakwe mo negotiation awie even mo kwe negotiation awie krampo no man inform players ne so yakwe negotiation wa ha Vision FC intino yaba ye no ma wie bibia ha se mo anka nkyere mo wie so mo anka nkyere mo ti players ne die o ma dwen ne so we are a players e de matima fa ne say Accra to folk ye hwe ne mo say ye betima koso kama o mo train na o ma nyako say ye ne mo wie why mo ton player mo di player colon mo inform player no ofitin ya player no so nko yamfa Manchester United an example player for Sir Anthony Olympiacos for Anthony omo catch the boy for Sir Anthony so nko Olympiacos and then Anthony catch the Manchester United say one Olympiacos there onye na adwen so we obeko Olympiacos ama still negotiation here there ekoso omo negotiate omo hwe ni mo so betima convince boy no so there etimi free club no mako but how to folk there no yan kan show bia say be a negotiation wa ha na say you transfer mu from how to folk to Vision FC not just say like Ampadu say omo patch say mentiasi you know automatically man for respect my players no yan kan man for respect my players no because onu obi adwuma na penny bi mo and say emre bi adu opese oni mani free ba bia wo no e ka bi fufura o say utimi ka kire no ade azie o say utimi ka kire no oba kura sabi sometimes we take a decision bi a also utimi ka kire so me ba say ni am pese me yo ade so what ya bi obeti ase we say una we head una ye father na say mother but sometimes no utimi dey eka bibi chen ma oba no so utimi ka kire so ade we die da bi ehwa emwa me temi so menti ase na ade we die meti ase ade ase nti no dey have to full company for no anye ni the next time no mo the player be kolona mo player no ehun say ade we anyway ana woko say na deal no sitie makwatana se munim deal no wonim ho hwe man say we player ntino wo dine ko bia no so wo dine ko hato folk for company for anye o ma anya ade wo sa anye ma no sa ne ma no kwa ade o ma anya ade nti next time no you say nsem no ko player status committee nti nyambo a Thursday ye hwe the player status committee no so betimi aka you say players no so more request for contract termination and penifon on terminate to contract na for mo sunko atiase enu ade ba because obiase on colon ana most many players no contract nti bia ma madwen se mo ntem no to mo contract don betena se na mo ti o mo kadia fine ene so ho enu so automatic that decision but next time no penifon no hwe ne ma bi said be ya only player say the players ne e kano sa na tie dia any next time mo penifon no hwe ne ma bi na face many players ne tilia mo mo nya way before some so me dey mo betimi enso so a transfer mo from our mother club into different club na bi aso na etimi akoso kama enra te say opanyini iPhone say James Akwasi Appiah mayori enso timi kasa den sma Europe na timi tudwa yenti ensema James Akwasi Appiah ade tudwa.
How has the season been like? Koroko started well at the beginning. After some 4 games, they went off. and then they are back again. What is it? What has been the reason for the ups and downs at Kumasi Asante Kotoko?
You're 100% right. As you all know, before the season started, we had some players off and some new players were recruited. And you see, normally when you recruit players, they are all coming from different backgrounds, and it takes time for players to know themselves. So actually when they came, things were going okay. I'm not surprised because at that time, each and every player wanted to impress the public, so each one was doing well. But after some time, things were not going as expected, and it all boils down to the fact that the coach, when you have a whole lot of players coming from different teams, it becomes really difficult in the sense that you might have to try different tactics, so some tactics will go well, some tactics may not go well. But if it doesn't go well, it helps you, the coach, to analyze the fact that maybe this player cannot play that role that I've given him. Let me try this player or that player. So when you have many new players, that's what normally happens. And I'm not surprised they have started picking up because most of them have gotten to know themselves now, and the coach has also seen the tactics that he thinks will fit the players that he have. Because every coach, for you to design a tactics, it depends on the quality of players you have at a particular time. So I believe that now the players are doing well. They've now understood the coach as to the roles on the pitch.
To maintain that winning streak that Kotoko has.
Yeah, it's important, and more especially the supporters. This is the time that the players will need the supporters to put all their backing, their supporters, their money and everything behind them, so that they can achieve their aim of winning the cup. So I believe the players are also out there and they know what is ahead of them. So what they need now is the support, because as a player, once you're on the pitch and you know that you have your supporters behind you and they always come to the pitch to support you, automatically you also try not to let them down but to fight and make sure you get a victory.
What should we expect from you and your team? What are the expectations this season?
I believe that the coach knows that he should try and do anything that he can to make sure we are able to go to Africa this season. Looking at the players that we have now, looking at the money that Team 4 is spending, I believe that it will be an honor, to win the cup or qualify for Africa next season, to at least make him also happy. So far we're playing very good, so by God's grace I believe that if we continue fighting, automatically we can end up winning the trophy.
Because you have 27 points from 15 games. How does the IMC rate the performance of your team so far?
I think it's not bad, considering the fact that, as I said initially, when you have a whole lot of new players within a year, that particular year, if it's not because we want to do something to honor Utumfo, I personally wouldn't have rushed them into thinking within the first year you should try and win the cup. No, but the players are actually doing well, and that's why we need the supporters to be behind them and give them the support needed to achieve this victory.
But you are making some signings. What did the IMC study? What did you find as the problem? Which areas are you trying to fix? Because it seems to be attackers. What has called for this?
As we all know, the the first half of the season, we were left with only one striker, which is only Albert. So whenever he had an injury or he was invited to the national team, it became a problem. We didn't have anyone. And when it comes to striking, it's important if you have 3 or 4 strikers, because strikers, sometimes you can put a striker to strike from the wing and then can put some at the center. Sometimes you can even put 2 at the center and then 1 on the wing. So it depends on what tactics you're playing at the particular time. And for me, normally you cannot make any signings without the coach input. Every signing that you be making, the coach has to approve it, because he's going to work with the players, and we are there as management to make sure we support him and make sure he gets what he wants.
So how many signings are you making, and can you confirm to us the number of signings that you've made so far?
It's difficult. Now I know we've done Kwampuku, but I know there are others that the coach is yet to finalize with their arrangements, and then once it's done, he will inform the management, and then we all collaborate and make sure we do the same. But everything has not been sealed yet. It's now that they've opened the registration, so hopefully.
How did you convince Justice Blade to stay? Prior to the extension, we heard he was leaving. How did the IMC convince him to extend the contract?
No, I don't think Blair was leaving. I never knew anything like that. But all what I knew was he was given the contract, and he had to study the contract and come back, to the management. So it's like why you're working now. If you're given a contract and you want to study the contract, or you're not happy with the contract, you study it and then come back to your management and ask them, I'm not happy with this, so if you can make this okay, then we all sign. So I think that's what happened, but it's got nothing to do with Blair leaving.
We hear some players also want to leave. We're hearing of Frederick Asari, the goalkeeper, and some other players who also want to leave. Can you confirm that to us, and what is the issue?
I'm surprised that I'm hearing this, because we as management has not heard anything. Even Asari, his contract is not ended yet. I think the contract will end, I think July or August, I think so. So I don't know anything about his contract yet. As the other players also want to leave, I'm not privy to that. But at the end of the day, a player might have his own reason as to why he wants to leave, a team, and until we are informed, it's difficult to say anything about it. But I believe that Kotoko players are being catered for very well now. As we all know, with Otunso's help, they have a place to sleep. They don't pay water, they don't pay light bill. Even they are paying some small percentage of their salaries to be fed. And it's a thing that sometimes by 25th or 26th they get their salaries. Once they win a match, the next day they get their bonuses. So I don't see anything that can be having such incentives, and I believe we're doing the best with the help of Otunfo, and I'll be surprised if a player playing now for Kotoko will say, I'm leaving, unless it's for other reasons.
One difficult situation now is attendance at the stadium. It seems to be very low. How do you hope to encourage the Kotoko supporters in your days? They were seen at the stadium hours before the game. How do you hope to encourage the supporters to come in their numbers to always support the team, whether they are playing at home or away?
It's really unfortunate. You see, Football, not only in Ghana, in Africa, once it coincides with a Premier League game, when there's a big game, with the Premier League or the Spanish League, people tend to love to watch that instead of coming to the stadium. Take for instance, if a supporter is living at Swami, and there's Manchester versus Liverpool, and the time of the game is the same time as we are playing, instead of using money to take a car and then come and pay gate fees and then return, you sit down and say, okay, let me just sit down and watch this Premier or Spanish League. But the other way around, which I've suggested, that if we could get some buses at some vintage points and make sure we are able to carry the supporters from these areas, faraway areas, to come and support the team, I believe that that will also help. We could try and make sure we get some sponsors, to even hide these buses for us. But these are all suggestions that we've put across, and hopefully if it goes through. But on the other hand, if you are a die-hard supporter, no matter what is being shown on your TV, you come and put your support behind the team. And that is why we actually need from every supporter, irrespective of whatever you're doing. Once we play home, you should all come and put their support and prayers and make sure Kotoko gets the victory needed.
The Adekunle project, as a member of the IMC, how far have you gone? Any news so far?
I think we've done the second pitch, and in the pipeline we might be doing one artificial turf, and I think there was one being built, but the size of it, we were not happy. So we've told them, and they are thinking of enlarging it for us. So once that is done, there are other things that we want to do, but Monday we have a meeting with because whatever is being done is from Otumfo anyway. We are AMC and we have nothing, but we are just on top there, and everything is being done by Otumfo. But I believe that the intention is to make sure we get our own accommodation. As of now, where we are hiring. And hiring at the end of a year or two, you have to go and pay again. And why not use the money to try and build your own? So this is something that we are making sure that we are able to do it. And so that actually becomes a Kotoko village where you come and see all the players, and then their gym, almost everything will be there. So once you enter there, and we are receiving this idea of making sure we get some stands on one of our pitches, so that when supporters, some matches which are not that high, you can even play it there. So these are all things in the pipeline, and we hope that we'll be able to achieve it.
But this project has been there for years. How soon does it hope to end, or what is the time frame for the Adekunle project? How long is it going to last, or how soon is it going to end?
The problems, issues has been there, as you said, but it's always better that when you come and even take a step, if you can lay 2 or 3 blocks, at least the next person who come who can also lay 2 or 3 blocks, and it will be going. So the idea of it's been there for years and nothing is being done, I don't believe in that. I believe that whatever you can do, try and do it. At the end of the day, when you leave, they will say, okay, the IMC came and the IMC was able to build a second pitch, and they've laid one or two blocks trying to finish the hostel for the players. So that is one of the things that we are hoping to achieve this year.
It's of keen interest to the great king Otumfuo. How far?
Yeah, anytime you go to Otumfuo, he is particularly very, very interested in the youth team, and for that reason, we've started with the under 17. So we're thinking of having under 15, having under 15, under 17, under 19, and then maybe under 21, so that there will be progression as to those from under 17, where are they going? They're going to under 19, from under 19 you go to under 21. So all these are in the pipeline, and we're hoping that Otumfuo will reach agreement with the Obuasi pitch. Some agreements are in the pipeline. So once it's finished, we move all the juvenile teams there, and we get coaches and administration to take care of the kids.
We hear a new bus has been purchased for the youth team. Is that true?
Yeah, as I said, Otumfuo is very particular with it. So when we told him that we've started the under 17, immediately he said, okay, there's a car in front of the Malaysia there, we should go and take it and give it to them. So it's something that is on his heart, and we are also making sure we do the best to make sure all the divisions we are able to create. You see, dealing with the juveniles sometimes becomes difficult in the sense that if you bring under 15 guys who are living with their parents and you want to take them out there, you should make sure you get very good accommodation, and then secondly, where they will be attending schools, and then assuring the parents of their security, So all these petty issues are being dealt with, and hopefully everything should be done soon.
Coach, how are you going to get players for this youth team? We hear you playing some friendly games and other. How do you hope to get the players to form the youth team?
No, so far we've done some scouting. We had two coaches who are scouts for the youth team. They went round and they scouted very few of them. But as I said, once everything is set up, automatically you have to get scouts in all the regions who will be scouting and looking out for quality players, so that at the end of the day, they will bring them, and then we will also be there to look at the trials and make sure and pick out the good ones, and then we use them to start the juvenile teams.
Are you going to register them in any of our lower divisions, or it's only going to be training and friendly games? How are you going to run the youth team?
Normally, when you have youth team, let's say under 15, there are some academies here, even in Kumasi, who have youth teams as well, under 15, and so you try and arrange some matches with those teams that are the under 15, under 17, and under 19. So it's a matter of arranging, making sure they are not just being fit for being fit sake, but they can also play some friendly matches to make sure they are also match fit. So that could be done, instead of traveling far away, it could be done locally, and we don't have locals as well. That's why the bus is there. We can send them to Accra or wherever. We play one friendly match, and then we bring them back.
Curtain raisers, youth teams playing curtain raisers before main league games. Do you have plans of making arrangements for your youth team so that they can play some curtain raisers before Kotoko's main league games?
You see, most of the time, it's very good that we've started these youth teams. Once the youth teams are established, and we are 100% sure there are other clubs with youth teams, then we can arrange that so that they play, for supporters to see their performance levels before our Premier League game is played. I think that can be done easily, but once we don't have so many teams with these youth teams, then it becomes difficult. But all the same, I believe there are some 2 or 3 teams or academies that have these youth teams, and we can use them to play these games before the league game.
Running a football club in Ghana is difficult because there are no sponsorships and other motivations. Now, the great King Otunfo is committing a lot into the senior team as well as the youth team. How does the IMC hope to keep the King's hopes alive and then motivate him to continue to spend more on the team?
Yeah, it's really difficult. A matter of running a team in Ghana, it's something that all the teams need to make sure they help in finding sponsorships. If you rely on the FA alone to find sponsors for you, it might be really difficult. But you yourself need to go out there and get some marketers, to do marketing for you and make sure they're able to bring some sponsors on board. Irrespective of how much you are getting. If you're getting even small, it's important you try and engage them and make sure you get some sponsors. Now we're looking out for sponsors for the youth teams, and I believe you're on the track because very soon you might get some sponsors for the youth teams. And then as to the senior team, we have some few, but we are planning on getting more, to get involved with the sponsorship of Kotoko.
Coach, your message to the Asante Kotoko supporters?
What I will urge them is they need to put their full support for the team. They should know that the team belongs to the King, and anything that they are doing, they are not doing it for me or for the players, but they are doing it for the great team here. So irrespective of whatever anyone has done to them or whatever they're doing at home, they should whenever they should play at home, they should leave whatever they're doing and come and put their support and prayers behind the team. And who was it? Is it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I went to training, and one supporter, I understand it's called something Appiah. No, I think he doesn't live in Kumasi, but he came, and he said, when they played House of Folk, he promised the boys 10,000, and then I think there was one other match, I think Dreams, he promised 5,000, so he brought all the 15,000 to the players, and then he said, I think Amma was celebrating his birthday, so he gave him some envelope and a cake. It was, I was really amazed, because to get a supporter who doesn't even live in Kumasi, he traveled all the way down to bring these players the money and the cake. And I think and these were kind of things that our time, 1980s, we used to get from our supporters. And that's why some of us never wanted to travel, because we believe that our supporters actually made us happy. So they should always make sure they come and put their support and strength and energy behind the team, irrespective of whatever is happening. But we will also not let them down. We will do our best and make sure we do the best for Kotoko.